Whenever you're down, out in the cold, faithless and dark, your story's untold. Come take my hand and walk there with me. I know a place where we can be free. There is a light shining for you, guiding your way, helping you through. And shadows and gloom are all that you see. We'll find a place where we can be free from the mountain top.
Okay, you guys, I am all dressed for the day, and I'm kind of thinking, well, I've got two thoughts on my mind right now. My bangs are on my face, and I'm wondering if I should go back and get them trimmed up a little bit and maybe a little bit shorter, because, you know, they're like down to here when they're not like doing this. And I know that the style is, you know, in your face kind of thing, but I also saw on Pinterest that they're doing like actual bangs. I don't think I could do that, but I think that, you know, just a little bit more right here, more of a peekaboo, so I can, like, you know, not be going like this all day. Hello, where is everybody? Okay, that's one of my thoughts for today, and I'm just kind of playing and trying to figure out what I really want to do with this. And I don't know. Kind of makes me feel like Farrah Fawcett. Remember Farrah Fawcett? You guys are probably all too young for this, but Farrah Fawcett used to have the bomb hair, and every teenage girl in the world in I think it was the 80s. The 80s is when I caught on to it, because I was too little before that. But I did like the big swooping, you know, and it was like down to here and stuff, and now it's all coming back. So I don't know if you should do I don't know if you should repeat a trend 2 times in a lifetime. You know, I think 1 time's good and then move on. But I am, see what I mean? I gotta cut them. Anyway. Alright, my second dilemma for today is, and I apologize for the echo because I'm in my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bathroom. I love this bathroom. It is just, every time I sit down in here, I just can't even imagine that it's mine. I just like, oh, thank you, God. So anyway, my dilemma today is, I'm going to show you. Now, don't look at the rest of my mess. Okay, just let me explain something really quick. My mood is always, and they have done studies about this too, by the way. Your mood is enhanced by scent. And just like nostalgia, like you smell like oatmeal cookies, and you think of grandma, things like that. Well, they also say, like, if you smell like a specific scent that you can, like, not just you, but like everybody who smells it, it lifts their moods. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. Well, I have been kind of down a little bit because of being sick and everything. So usually I save my perfumes, my Dossier perfumes for when I go out, because I don't like to waste them, you know. I want to make sure that I'm just not laying around bed and whatever. So after reading this article, and they did a big study on it, it was pretty interesting. They took cancer patients that were dying. You know, they were towards the very end, and they put different scents. And I got to figure out what scents they put in, because I stopped reading, I fell asleep. I got to go back and read the rest of it. Anyway, they put different aromas, and they started like coming around, you know, and they started smiling more, and some of them lived more than 2 months longer. And one lady even lived, I mean, like a long time afterwards, and she said the one scent that they had brought in was a scent of her son, and her son had been killed in Afghanistan, and he always wore this specific cologne, and they had brought in a jacket of his or something like that, and she said that it just brought her back to like thinking about her son and wanting to talk about him and tell people about how brave he was, and oh my gosh, it was just amazing. So anyway, scent can lift your spirits. So this last week, the last 4 or 5 days, I have been, even laying in bed, I have been using my dossier. Hand to God. I have been just like spraying a little bit, just a little bit, just to kind of, I don't know. And you know what? I really think it works. I felt better. I felt like one day, for example, I did not want to get in the shower. I knew I needed to. Whoo, boy, did I need to. And I just like, oh, I don't want to. And so I sprayed a little bit of the dossier, and I think it was, the jasmine. I'm pretty sure that's one. And it was so beautiful. It made me want to go outside and check on my orange trees and my lemon tree, because that's exactly how that smelled, just like super fresh. So I ended up getting in the shower, getting dressed, and going outside. So I thought it was pretty cool, so I thought I'd share that with you guys. So now, this is my trauma of the day. I gotta figure out which one I'm going to wear, because tonight is Wednesday night church, and I never ever go, but tonight I feel like going, and I've missed like 3 Sundays in a row because of being sick, and I really want to see someone else other than Bentley and me, and of course Mr. Too Cute. Anyway, so I gotta figure this out really quick because I gotta hurry. So I've got my tried and true Gourmand Orange Blossom. Now this is almost gone. Look at this. I've got just a little bit left. I've had this one for over a year. So, and this is kind of like, one of my favorites. All right, and the only problem with that one, it smells so good, but it doesn't last that long. So like you have to put it on like midday again, and then maybe if you're going out before dinner, put some on. But Floral Peony, this one, oh my gosh, this one lasts and lasts all day. I don't have to like reapply it. And this one has like magnolia flowers, and it just, smells so good. Oh my gosh. Maybe it was this one that got me outside. I don't know. My mind's mush. Anyway, so this one I have a lot left because, it lasts a little longer and I don't use it as often. And Floral Rhubarb is almost gone. That's another favorite. And of course I share this with my granddaughter and anybody that comes over. They're like, my sisters, anybody, oh, let me see your perfume, and they start spraying it on. My niece, she's used like half bottles of everything, I think, so far. So anyway, this one, I kind of want to save this one for date night because my husband loves this one. So I think it's going to be Floral Jasmine for today. And let me see. I don't want to spray it on my camera. Ooh, hold on. Oh. Woo. Now I'm going to stink. Okay, but I can feel it fall away from me, not on me. Now I got some. Oh my gosh, that stuff smells so good. And at church, I'll have like someone hug me or something, and they'll say, oh my gosh, you smell so good. What scent do you have on? So that always makes me feel really good too. And I love different scents. Like I have my very expensive scent, which I've had for years, and it is called Eternity by Calvin Klein. And that's been my scent for years and years and years. But because it's so expensive, I just use a little bit, and only when I go out for like special events. I don't want to just spray it on me every day because, can't afford to buy it again. So I love, love, love that this brand, Dossier, it's like, it is not expensive at all. It's like 26 to 34. It depends on, you know, UK money or American money, depends, US money. But it is like you can get a whole bunch of different scents for the price of one bottle of Eternity. And the good news about it is you can use it every day. You don't have to feel guilty. And you can have your mood lifted every day. So, that's good. Now I gotta stop talking. I've gotta like hurry. Catch you guys later. Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Too Cute for Cancer. My name is Jody, and if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so happy you guys came and are taking a peek at our YouTube family. That's what I call everybody because it's true. My engagement is through the roof. Now, people that don't do YouTube say, huh? Well, engagement means when you engage back and forth. And my peeps and I, oh my gosh, we engage. We get to know each other, and I absolutely love it. So, welcome to the family. Okay, today is a little bit different. I normally do vlogging through the whole day, and I wake up, I grab my camera, and I show you what it is and how it is to live with stage 4 cancer. Well, in the past, I would say probably 3 or 4 weeks, I've been looking at my comments, and I am getting tons and tons of questions about how did it feel when you first got cancer? Or what kind of cancer do you have? All these different questions. And I'm thinking, well, I answered that 3 years ago when I started my channel. Light bulb moment. Well, not everybody has been here for 3 years with me. Also, it's actually been 2.5 years. 3 years, it'll be 3 years in April. So anyway, there's so much ground that new people, the newbies, or people just stopping in, they don't have a clue really what my story is unless they go back and they watch my older videos, which you can do, of course. But you know what? I thought I would make it a little bit easier and maybe a little bit more, I don't know, the photography a little better, because when I first started my YouTube channel, I had an old iPhone that was like 4 years old, and it was pretty much on its last leg, but that's all I had. I had no microphone, I had no lighting, nothing. I just like, you know, I would set up my camera on my books and not my camera, my phone on books, and just say, okay, here we go. So anyway, now I've, you know, been able to reinvest in my channel with, you know, ring lights, an actual camera, microphone, music, copyrighted free music. Not, the music's not free, but it's free from copyright, you know, dings and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, all that kind of stuff I've upgraded, and I'm not as scared to death to talk to people on the camera anymore. Before it was like, hi, my name is Jody, and yeah, I look back at my old ones and I'm like, oh boy, I want to take him down, but that's my story. So it's like, I wanted to leave him up, I want to take him down, so I leave him there so I can laugh at myself. But the information is still there, so if you can get past the bad lighting, the cars going by, all the horrible stuff in the background, my voice fading in and out and stuff, then, you know, feel free to watch it. So anyway, today, I thought I would go back to the beginning and tell you the very beginning of my cancer journey. And you know, I can't tell you the whole thing at once because we would be here for 8 hours and we don't want that, right? So I thought I would just go back to the absolute very beginning. And that was, oh my gosh, this is going to age me a bit, okay? So we're going to pretend that the numbers are different, but you know, just for my ego. Anyway, it was 1998, between 1998 and 1999. Well, first off, let me give you a backstory. Okay, I have a beautiful family. At the time, I had, of course, my husband, same husband now, Mr. Too Cute for Cancer. And then I had, at that time, I had a 15-year-old boy, Raymond. My second son was 12. My third son, Michael, was 6.5. And my baby girl was trailing 2 years behind that. So, actually 3 years behind that. So, anyway, she was 2.5, almost 3. Okay, so I had, you know, I had a big responsibility, had a lot of kids. I was homeschooling 2 of them, and I was working part-time for the school district as a teacher for the deaf and blind. Okay, that was my life at that time. I sang on the worship team. I did a lot of singing engagements with my husband. That's kind of our DNA, music. Before having kids, we traveled around and we sang it. We did weddings and different events at different churches and stuff, and parties and all that good stuff. Anyway, so I would do that as well. All right, had a very full, very loving, very happy extended family as well. And really, I mean, other than financial struggle, I don't know, I had a really wonderful life. I still do. So, and then one day, my son Michael, who my last 2 we adopted, my first 2 are biological, and my second, I say birth children, and my second are born from the heart. So my son Michael kept saying that he had body aches and he was hurting, and he was getting a lot of ear infections and throat infections. And I kept taking him to the doctor saying, you know, I've had 2 other children, and I've got my baby girl here, 3 boys, 1 girl, by the way, and just something doesn't feel right, because the way the other kids would be act out and they would like keep trying to play through the pain, you know, I'm not tired, you know, and Michael would be like, oh, my body hurts, very specific. And so anyway, I just kept at the doctors and kept saying, you know, it's just something doesn't feel right. Okay, finally, they tested him. Did blood work, and they found out that his white count was just like skyrocketed. And they're like, ooh, we need to take a second look at this. So anyway, long story short, on January 4th, 1998, I came home from the doctors and had to tell my husband, he wasn't with me at the time, that our son had full-blown AIDS. And back in the 90s, people died often of AIDS. Now it's like they can control it with medication and all of that, but at the time there was pretty much nothing we could do except for they gave him treatments called AZT treatments and some other stuff that I know now. It's evolved into a whole bunch of different new treatments and stuff, but it was to support his immune system to keep him from getting sick because a cold could kill him. So I came home and had to tell my husband our son was going to die, and it was the worst day of my entire life, except for the day that he did die. Anyway, our whole world, it just turned upside down, as you can imagine. But I still had to keep going. You know, I've got other kids to take care of, and then I had to add in all the precautions and the safety precautions and all the different stuff, and then found out the preschool would no longer take Michael, you know, because, you know, of his AIDS, and yes, that did happen. And then our friends started dropping right and left. Our church asked us to leave. My husband was an associate pastor at a church. I'm not gonna name and shame him. And he went in 1 week after we found out that Michael was dying, and they set us down and they said, we're going to replace you. We're going to, you know, basically we're firing you because it's for your own good, so you can go home and take care of your son. And once he's gone, once he's died, you can come back. True. Anyway, so on top of the grief, we had no income. We had no medical insurance. It was just unfathomable. So anyway, that was going on. A couple months later, my husband's father, we had gone for a funeral in another state, and Dad came with us, and of course he loved the babies. Summer was his favorite little baby girl, you know, always holding them and stuff, and he was having a hard time breathing, and it was just like, well, I'm thinking, wow, it's odd for your dad. So when we got back, he promised that he would get checked out, which he did. He went in for an angiogram. They came out, and they said while they were doing the angiogram, he had a major heart attack. So they had to go in the next morning, open him up, and his main aortic valve was just like 90% closed. They said they had no idea how he had lived, how he was walking around the way he was. Anyway, the very next day he died. So here we have Michael is sick, and he's dying, and he's got to get all of these different treatments and all these different things going on, and we have no income, and I'm having to apply for different aid, and just everything that you can imagine that goes with all of that. Okay, well, about 2 weeks after, actually 2 weeks, I digress, 2 weeks after we found out Michael was dying, I had taken some time off work. I was going to stay home, and my husband was like throwing newspapers. He started working for my sister's company in real estate. I mean, we were just scraping by. Anyway, but we felt that it was just like a necessity that I be home with Michael at that time. And, yeah, it was really hard. Well, anyway, one afternoon shortly thereafter, I was watching Oprah Winfrey in the afternoon, and I was having a glass of iced tea. That tastes good. And the babies were asleep. Summer was asleep on my chest. Michael was sleeping across my legs. And Oprah had a lady on there that was trying to find homes for her 2 children because she had breast cancer, late stage, and she had very little time to live, and she had no family, and she needed someone to take her children. Okay, I was like, I was just crying. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I have so much family around me. And okay, at the end of that show, the whole point of the show was the woman was like 30 years old. And back when I first got diagnosed, I thought, and a lot of other people thought the same, that you could only get breast cancer when you're old. Like, you didn't need to worry about it, at 30, right? All right. Well, and even doctors, they wouldn't even do a mammogram. You're like, you're fine. Anyway, at the end of the show, or during the show, they taught women how to do a self-exam. The arm up and the walking around and all that with your fingers, and how to notice changes and stuff. I never ever, I never felt myself up before and never even thought of it, not even at all. Anyway, that night, laying in bed, I was telling my husband about this horrible show that I watched, and it was just so bad and everything. And he goes, "Why do you watch these things? Don't we have enough drama in our life already?" And I'm like, yeah. Anyway, so I was laying there and I did the self-check. All right. I got about halfway through and I was like, okay, this is my imagination. Or maybe it was there before and I didn't know. But I felt a marble. I mean, it felt like, I wish I had a marble. It felt like a marble underneath the skin and I was like rolling, like I had to kind of push your fingers deeply in, but I could feel it. And I was like, that's just really weird. So my husband felt it and he goes, yeah, that does. And we felt the other side, did not feel that. Felt everywhere else, did not feel that. So next day, I called and I got an appointment to come in and they couldn't get me in forever. It wasn't priority for them. And I really could care less at that time. I was taking care of my kids and I just, whatever. Okay. Well, I finally got in. The doctor said that it's probably a clogged milk duct because even though Summer is adopted, I had the privilege of breastfeeding her. And I did, yes, breastfeed her for a very long time. And he says, probably just clogged milk ducts, maybe leftover. I mean, he just gave me a bunch of whatever. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But he says, let's do a mammogram ultrasound just to make sure. So I was like, okay. Well, they did all that. And then he's like, yeah, I want to get a needle biopsy. Did a needle biopsy, which was super easy. It wasn't even that bad. It was like, oh, easy peasy. And I thought this was just, they did this for everybody that came in with a lump. I didn't know that the seriousness of it because my mind was so far away from anything like that. Anyway, the day that we got back from the burying my father-in-law, the doctor called and they're like, well, your biopsy was positive. And I'm like, again, what does positive mean? Is that a good thing? Yay! Or is that not good? I didn't know. I really did not know. So, I was like, okay, what's next? And he goes, well, I am going to get you a referral for a surgeon. And I'm like, okay, negative must not be something good because he's sending me to the surgeon, So anyway, went in and they sat down. They said that they wanted to do a lumpectomy, breast sparing, and I didn't know what that was. At that time, yes, we had internet, but it wasn't like on our phones, and it wasn't like something that we jumped on the computer to check something out all the time like we do now. All of my information came from the doctor, and in the state that I was, I just didn't ask a lot of questions. I just didn't care, basically. So I missed a lot of what was going on, which now I think was a godsend, kind of a cushioning, like a protection. So anyway, they did the lumpectomy and they said that it was good, the margins were clear, and that it was stage 0, between stage 0 and 1, and I don't know what else. He said a whole bunch of other stuff, and then they were talking about if it was estrogen positive. It was anyway. Sorry about that interruption. The ice maker went down and scared the dog, and he started barking. Go figure, right? Anyway, all my information during that time about the negative estrogen, all that kind of stuff, I just didn't even care. So after the lumpectomy, I went home the very same day. I started taking care of the babies. I didn't even care. I remember telling my mom and making it seem like it was just nothing. They took care of it. We're done. But then I went to the oncologist, because you go from the surgery to the oncologist and all these different doctors, and I didn't know that I had another doctor to go to. Anyway, I had to go to the radiologist doctor and go through that. And I'm like, why? I'm like, I'm done. And I didn't even know that my journey wasn't even over yet, I just thought it was done. Anyway, so I had to have radiation, and they said that normally he would just end with the lumpectomy, not the radiation. But because I was so young, and the type of cancer that I had, because it wasn't estrogen positive, that it was more aggressive and stuff, so they wanted to do it as a precaution. So I'm like, okay, cool, go ahead. So I had radiation, no chemotherapy at that time. All right, so then life went on. Not too long after that, my son passed away. And it was just, I didn't even think of it ever until it was time to go back the next year, and everything was clear, no problem. I had to go in for lab works like every 3 months and then 6 months and stuff. Anyway, fast forward 8 years. And at 5 years, we had a celebration dinner that I was cancer free and I would never have to worry about that again. And yeah. All right. Well, at the 8-year mark, we had moved into this beautiful home with a pool, and my oldest son had just gotten married. My second son was just met a girl, and they fell in love, and he was applying for the police department, and life was starting to settle down again. My daughter was 10 years old, and we were just enjoying life. And I had skipped one of my follow-ups because I felt like, since I'm done, I don't need to do this. My bad. And then, again, I felt the lump. But it didn't feel like the one before, and it felt like it was kind of like over here, and I couldn't feel it on the outside, but when I pressed, I felt like something was pushing back. So, and it had just other symptoms that I wasn't really sure of. All right, that made me go in. They did lab work, and there was some red flags with that. Went ahead, did all the testing and everything, and I remember going in and sitting down and being more concerned this time. And the doctor saying that, asked me a bunch of questions about my first round with chemo or first round with cancer, and just a lot of very specific questions. And then he pulled his chair up really close to me. He got down like this, and he says, I don't believe that your cancer came back. He said, I believe it's been growing. And I was like, growing for 8 years? I was like, what? I'm like, and he goes, and then he said, for some time. So then my heart stopped. And that's the beginning of my second diagnosis. And we're going to stop there because it's getting a bit lengthy. And we will start on next week with part 2 of my cancer journey. Okay, and now let's lighten the tone a little bit and let's go and talk about some really cool things that happened. I was sick week before last and last week. I had strep throat, really bad, very sick. And you guys, I love you guys. You guys are so incredibly awesome. I've got, let me see, I got a whole bunch of cards. Now, I went through a stack of them, I think in the last video. So I'm going to just go through some of them because it just takes a little bit of time. I got, let's see, Happy New Year from Lori. And this was just so beautiful. And then I got a good get well card or a picture from Brennan. That's my grandson. This is super cool. A Minnesota State bird, 5 fun facts. Let's just see. There are more than 3,000 species of mosquitoes. Ooh, only female mosquitoes bite humans and animals. Males feed on flower nectar. Something I didn't know. And this is from my YouTube sub Zen fan, Bonnie, aka Bonnie. Thank you, Bonnie. And I think I already did this one. This was the Christmas one. And it was from, okay. No name on the bottom of it. Anyway, I love it. And it says, celebrate with joy, Nehemiah 8:12. Oh, I love it. And it says that they just moved into their new home in September. And it says, I hope you enjoy your new home. Okay, that was awesome. I'm dropping things. And then, let's see, I got a present in the mail, which I absolutely love. Okay, I've been trying to find another CBD cream because it's so hard to get the one that I'm normally getting, and which I'm still hanging on to. I'm just going to order when they have it, and they don't, I'll just keep like piling it up. But anyway, this person sent me CBD relief cream, 1,000 milligrams, soothing relief from CBD, arnica, and menthol. And it's by Because. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, I love it. I've been using it. And I still, CBD pain freeze is always going to be it. But this is a good backup, let me tell you. It absolutely does work. Anyway, let's see. And this is from Sweet Thing. I love your handle. That is awesome. Anyway, whole bunch of nice little goodies in here. Make me feel really pretty. And I used this today. It is Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. Now let me see if you can see my eyebrows, see if I did it right. Did I do it right? Anyway, Anastasia, I love it. Thank you so much. All right, that and some beautiful lip balm and stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you, you guys. You guys just, I don't need gifts from you, but when I do, I'm like a little kid at Christmas, like, woohoo, let's unwrap gifts. I still think that Amazon is like Christmas time, They come to the door, I'm like, let's open up, I can't remember what I ordered. So I'm a total geek. I really am. All right, you guys. Well, I am really getting tired. So I think that I'm going to end this very long vlog/video. I hope that the new people that are just stopping by to say, hey, come on back for part 2. And if you'd like, catch up with all my other videos and kind of find out where I'm at now. If not, hang tight and I'll tell you, okay? Right now I'm at stage 4 metastatic breast cancer that is metastasized to my bones. And that's all I'm going to say until we get there. I'm feeling better from last week. I'm still a little raspy. At nighttime I still cough, which really bugs me. But yeah, things are going pretty good right now. Okay, so I think that's it. If you are not subscribed to my channel and you would like to follow my journey and would like to support me, I do this full time. God has allowed me to quit my 30-year career as a sign language interpreter, VRS interpreter, and gave me the blessing of this channel. And to try to help other women and inspire other people to be the best that they can be in the midst of any circumstance, whether it be death, a dying child, whether it be suffering, a chronic illness. There's so many things in life that we need support on. And that's what this channel is all about. And you don't have to have cancer to be here. I would say about 80% of the people that are in our sweet YouTube family do not have cancer. They may have a spouse with cancer or know somebody with cancer, have lost a loved one. Some people have fibromyalgia. Some people have arthritis. I mean, you name it. We are all there for each other. So if you'd like to join us, hit that subscribe button. I would love it. All right. This is Too Cute for Cancer, signing off.